Welcome to Review Rewind, the show where a couple of friends watch movies of old and aim to figure out if the reviewers were spot on or a little off. I'm Mike.
And I'm Tristan.
And this week, we're talking about... Galaxy Quest. That theme's pretty good. It's a pretty good theme. It knew what it was aiming for.
Mm-hmm.
You know? How you doing, Tristan?
Oh, I'm doing okay. I'm recording on the road right now. So,
well, by the time listeners hear this, happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy colonialism. Anyway, yeah, you're recording on the road. I know you have, we don't always put videos out, but you have new digs.
Mm-hmm.
Just white walls. Walls.
Yeah.
Walls.
Just white walls. That's
white
it.
Walls. I had Christmas lights behind me, but they were LED, and the refresh rate on my camera was not agreeing with it. So it just looked like it was like strobing.
Oh, it does. It was off from the flicker.
Yeah. And it, nope, I can't. I got immediately annoyed. Anyway. Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show, everyone.
Hello.
This movie was directed by Dean Parisot. Pidgeotto. Dean Pidgeot. Mark Johnson, Charles Newirth, David Howard, screenwriter. Oh, sorry. Produced by Mark Johnson and Charles Newirth. There's words in front of those things. Screenwriter was David Howard, Robert Gordon. Distributed by DreamWorks.
Mm-hmm.
Produced by DreamWorks. Was this their first live action?
Oh, maybe.
We're gonna.
Oh, look at you. Keep reading and I'll look it
up. Rated. No, it wasn't. It was rated PG.
Mm-hmm. That's why when Sigourney Weaver definitely curses at the end, and its audio is switched out with her not cursing.
Oh yeah. Wow. They really worked hard to push her boobs out for a PG movie.
Yep.
That will make sense later. It's part of the joke. I get it, but I thought that would feel appropriate for PG-13. But it feels like I also think there was a continuity issue with her cleavage in particular. I lost my page. Okay. Rated PG, ironically enough, for sensuality.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I would argue there are some pretty grotesque scenes that are not appropriate for PG audiences.
Yeah, it's pretty intense.
Like, this movie should be PG-13 almost solely on the violence.
Mm-hmm.
It's not particularly violent, but there is some sci-fi gore, you could say, and some intense scenes. Like, there's a torture scene that is pretty, mostly because they make the actor act very odd in a certain way, and it's very what's the word? It's uncomfortable. Because he looks very sad. Genre, comedy, sci-fi, adventure, action. Original language, English. Release date, December 25th. Christmas, 1999. Christmas is always on Christmas? I mean, on the 25th.
Yeah. Christmas is always on Christmas. Christmas is always the 25th.
It's one of those holidays, right?
Yeah.
Budget, $45 million. Pretty impressive. Sort of. Gross U.S. and Canada 71, gross worldwide 90 million. So they made their budget, and then they doubled their budget.
Nice. I have some information for you.
Okay.
It is not the first DreamWorks Pictures movie. Mm-hmm. DreamWorks Pictures productions have things all the way back to 97, including The Peacemaker and Mouse Hunt.
Oh, yeah.
In 98, there was Deep Impact, Small Soldiers, Saving Private Ryan.
Saving Private Ryan was... Oh, yeah, because Spielberg had a hand in it.
It was a co-production with Paramount.
That's right.
But
Spielberg had like... I think he had a what's it called? A hand, an investment in DreamWorks, because he produced a lot of them, at least. Anyway.
Yeah, he was a founder.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
That thing.
Anyway.
This movie stars Tim Allen, Sigourney Weaver, Alan Rickman, the late great Alan Rickman, Tony Shalhoub, Sam Rockwell, and Daryl Mitchell. Great cast.
It's such a good cast.
It's a great cast.
And Dwight Schrute.
And you weren't part of the basketball episode, but one of the actors from that movie was in this one as well. He was.
Oh, really?
He was one of the engineers. He was the short one, Squeak. That was his name in basketball. I don't think that was his name in this movie. If it was,
what?
They're trolling him.
Was it Teb or Jeb?
I don't think they named him.
Oh, okay.
He was standing next to Tony Shalhoub when they would.
When he would do his like good news, everybody.
Yeah. I want to talk about Tony Shalhoub. Not a lot, but I want to talk about him because I noticed something this one watching that I had never noticed before. And I was like, that's the best joke in the whole movie. And it's not even necessarily Tony Shalhoub, but it is about him.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. If you've never heard the show, hi. But we now transition into the recap rewind, which is a little thing we like to do, where we go ahead and recap the movie in our own creative ways. I saw Wicked today, so I am feeling jazzed. I am acting just like Linda. Anyway. I'm gonna go shoot myself in the foot, but Tristan's gonna go ahead and read the recap. You have the floor, my dear friend.
Thanks. 18 years after the cult sci-fi TV show Galaxy Quest was canceled, its once celebrated cast struggles with the weight of their fading fame. Jason Nesmith, Tim Allen, who played the heroic Commander Peter Quincy Taggart, relishes his celebrity status, thriving on the adoration of loyal fans at conventions. The rest of the cast isn't so enthusiastic. Gwen DeMarco, Sigourney Weaver, who portrayed Lieutenant Tawny Madison, resents being reduced to a character whose role was to repeat the computer. Alexander Dane, Alan Rickman, a serious Shakespearean actor, detests being typecast as Dr. Lazarus, the ship's alien science officer, who loathes his catchphrase, "By Grabthar's hammer, you shall be avenged." Fred Kwan, Tony Shalhoub, the ship's unflappable engineer, Tech Sergeant Chen, is laid back is laid back to the point of absurdity, while Tom Weber, Daryl Mitchell, who played the ship's young pilot, wrestles with the awkwardness of no longer being the boy wonder he once was. Adding to their ranks is Guy, Sam Rockwell, a former Galaxy Quest extra who anxiously fears dying like the expendable red shirt his character once was. At the fan convention, Jason is approached by a group of peculiar fans dressed as Galaxy Quest characters. They introduce themselves as Thermians and beg for his help, describing a dire conflict with a brutal alien warlord called Saris. Jason assumes this is part of a paid gig and dismisses them. Later, after overhearing mocking comments from fans, Jason spirals into self-pity, drowning his sorrows in alcohol. The next morning, the Thermians return, still dressed in uniform, and Jason reluctantly accompanies them. After a disorienting ride in what he thinks is a limousine, well, it was a limousine, Jason finds himself aboard a massive, meticulously accurate replica of the NSEA Protector. Believing this is an elaborate set piece, Jason meets Saris on the ship's bridge and orders the Thermians to fire all weapons before casually requesting to be sent home. He's shot back to Earth in a gelatinous pod, and during the journey realizes everything was real. The ship, the aliens, and the battle. Jason races to convince the rest of the cast to join him, but they dismiss his story as another of his attention-seeking stunts. However, the promise of a paycheck entices them to come along, or the assumed promise of a paycheck, and they soon are teleported onto the real Protector. The crew is shocked to learn the Thermians are actually squid-like aliens who have taken a humanoid form. They reveal they've modeled their entire civilization on episodes of Galaxy Quests, believing them to be historical documents. This misunderstanding has left them defenseless against Saris, who demands the Omega-13, a mysterious device from the show whose function is unknown. Initially overwhelmed and out of their depth, the actors realize the Thermians' survival depends on them. When the Protector sustains critical damage, the crew embarks on a mission to retrieve a replacement beryllium sphere from a nearby planet. They encounter cute but hostile alien creatures and narrowly escape after a tense battle. In the typical Star Trekian fashion, Jason is left behind to face Gorignac, a giant rock creature. After a mishap with the teleporter that turns a pig creature inside out and explodes, the team manages to bring Jason as well as the sphere back to the ship, reinvigorating their confidence. As tensions rise, Saris infiltrates the Protector and tortures the crew, forcing Jason to confess the truth to Mathazar. They're not heroes. They're just actors from a television show. Devastated, Mathazar loses hope, but Jason takes responsibility and rallies the crew. Each member embraces their role. Tommy learns how to pilot the ship again. Gwen and Jason navigate the ship's labyrinth systems. Fred oversees critical repairs with help from Leary, a Thermian engineer, and his budding love interest. And Alexander rediscovers the pride of his character and must truly avenge the loss of a Thermian friend, inspiring the Thermians with his iconic catchphrase. The team executes a daring plan to outwit Saris. Jason and Gwen, with the help of some superfans back on Earth, deactivate the ship's self-destruct system while the rest of the crew battles Saris's forces. The mysterious Omega-13 is finally activated, revealing itself to be a time reversal device capable of undoing the last 13 seconds. Just enough time for Jason to save the day. The Protector crash lands on Earth, where the cast is greeted by an ecstatic crowd of fans at a fan convention who believe their spectacular rival is part of the show. Reunited and transformed by their adventure, the cast embraces their legacy, their role, and each other. No longer just washed-up actors, they have become the heroes they played on TV, and their heroics inspire a reboot of the show and their careers.
Bravo. Bravo. That one was like straight ahead, just a solid retelling. Good.
Yeah.
Solid. That was good. That was good. I feel like we do that with comedies.
Yeah.
Because it's hard. If you try to make a joke synopsis about a movie filled with jokes, you're just kind of putting a hat on a hat.
Yeah.
And so I think every time we've had a comedy, we've kind of made it more somber or more straight ahead. And I think that's right. Like, I think that's the right move. Because you've explained the plot so well. That's the plot. That's what the selling point of the story is.
Mm-hmm.
Is these jaded, semi-washed up actors finding out the true meaning of their characters and what they mean to their fans. In a lot of ways, that's kind of what their outcome is.
Yeah.
And that's great. That's good. That's great.
It's good.
That's good.
It's good. It's great.
It's good. Jazzed. I don't even know why. So yeah, I think the movie's good overall. I think it has some stuff that did not age well at all. But maybe that's the point.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's the point.
Yeah, I found myself, like, as I was thinking about it and thinking about the, like, do I have an issue with this? And then going back to, they did a really good job of covering up any of the, like, the flaws of the movie by being like, oh, it's just because it's based off of a TV show, and the TV show had its own flaws. And so it's hard to, like, find legitimate like, oh, this was an issue. I mean, there right. Still is, but there was a lot of that's an issue, but it really wasn't, because they even have the throwaway lines of like, oh, it's because it's a TV show. Or I mean, at the end when they're going through the chompers, is that right. What they call them?
She's like, whoever wrote this deserves to die.
Stupid episode. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the things that I would normally probably make a fuss about, they make jokes about it.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, in the original, Sigourney Weaver's character was sexualized because her cleavage or whatever. I actually don't remember what they make a point of it. And then at the end of the movie, like, she is perpetually showing more cleavage to the point where it's like her zipper breaks or something, where it's just her chest is showing in a bra, but it's showing. It's a PG movie. And like, the joke is that these weird tropes that happen throughout the show happen in real life. Like, that's the joke. The joke is that these things that they complain about did in fact manifest themselves in the real life rendition of the adventure.
Right.
You know, Alan Rickman's character had to avenge someone. Tim Allen's character actually had to be a leader. He had to be brave. He had to be a leader. What's his name? Daryl Mitchell's character had to pilot a plane. And Sigourney Weaver had to be the one who talked to the computer and showed cleavage. Like, it just, that's the joke. The joke is that they're not doing it because they're like, hey, you know, it'd be great. Sigourney Weaver's boobs. Like, the director's not saying, they're going, this is the joke. This thing that was an issue then finds itself actually happening in the quote unquote real life.
Yeah.
Which is great joke. Like, honestly, it's a great premise of a joke. The continuity issue was when they're going through the maze that is the ship. And they're pushing the button, and when they push the button, her shirt is zipped up, and then when she says, "Oh, the timer always stops at 1," it's down, and it was like, "Wait, did you do it?" There was no. We'll go ahead. I think we both agree. Still a pretty good movie. Some of the issues is it didn't age well as far as like technology goes. CGI is garbage. It's so bad.
Yeah, the CG is bad, but the use of practical
effects are insane, and I wish they would have maybe dove into that a little more. But the reality is their budget was their budget, and I think DreamWorks was trying to step up its game, and I didn't look it up, but I would not be shocked if they had an in-house graphics department that was working on it to where, you know, they're trying to make themselves a staple of the movie industry, which they kind of, I don't know if they are anymore. They are with animation, certainly.
For sure. Yeah, I don't know if they make much live action
anymore. But they still are top of the line as far as animation, thus CGI creations.
I stand corrected. They are still making.
Is it under their other name, Work Dream?
Work.
That's a few letters off from being really awkward.
I mean, nothing huge, really, but
Anyway, things just kind of marking on things that kind of didn't help the movie out. CGI aside, there were so many continuity errors as far as editing. And maybe they're not huge, but it feels choppy sometimes. And it was hard to watch in that instance, which was funny because I was having some buffering issues while I was watching it. And so I'd have moments where it would just stop, and then I'm just thinking about what was happening prior to that moment, and then I really start examining. I go, oh no, there's some issues happening here. But I think that's really the only thing that really, for me, I would really critique the movie too much. I'm sure there's something else, but as far as like critiquing the movie, some of the editing issues were apparent. I'll just say that. Some of the issues were apparent, but as far as like actual critiques for the movie that we would normally have, I don't know if I have too many.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't have as as much for this one. I think, like, story wise, like it's a solid.
It's a fantastic concept.
Yeah, it's like there's so many. There's like the meta layers to it. There's like a whole lot of it that is just really good.
Yeah.
I am curious if the editing and continuity, how much of that is on accident and how much of it was like, yeah, let's purposefully not care about continuity
If it itself is a joke.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
And that's a hard thing to be able to tell just from, because it's not obvious. It's not so obvious that it is an issue.
Right.
Or like it, what am I trying to say? It's not so obvious that it is a joke that we can tell that it's a joke, but it could also be something that they're like, hey, let's subtly make it like the editing kind of off, because that's what a TV show is like. Because like you watch old Star Trek or old shows like that, and it's like, oh yeah, that the continuity is weird here.
Oh my gosh. I was looking at some of the details to see if I could maybe clarify that. But this behind the scenes thing is amazing, because it really, this movie could have been something different. I don't know if it would have been better, but it definitely would have been different. So this is from a very reputable source, Wikipedia.
Oh.
And Johnson wanted Dean Parisot to direct. Parisot had directed another Johnson film. However, DreamWorks favored Harold Ramis because of his experience and hired him in November of 98. Ramis wanted Alec Baldwin for the lead role, but Baldwin turned it down. Steve Martin and Kevin Kline were also considered. Kevin Kline,
oh man,
would have been amazing.
Yeah.
Kline had to turn it down for family reasons. Ramis did not agree with the casting of Tim Allen and left the project.
Wow.
And then Parisot took over within 3 weeks.
Man, that could have been such a different movie.
Yeah.
With any of those actors. It was like,
and this is from Tim Allen. I don't know. His reputation is less than spectacular, but it says Allen said that the version film pitched by Ramis and Katzenberg felt more like Spaceballs than what it was.
You know, I do feel like Alec Baldwin is a good Shatner.
Alec Baldwin would have been the perfect Shatner stand-in.
Yeah.
That would have been a godsend for them. Because the hard part with Tim Allen is how do I want to put this? Tim Allen kind of was never really an action star.
Yeah.
He's had a couple roles where he's had to be the leader of some action group, but they were like kids movies, or I guess in this case, Galaxy Quest.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really see him like that. So like he plays the part well. He plays like the self-absorbed manly man kind of well. But I don't fully buy the like Shatner position.
Yeah.
But Alec Baldwin would have absolutely have fit that.
Because he's already
I think Kevin Kline would have acted. Kevin Kline, I think, is out of all of these people, Kevin Kline is the most bona fide actor of the group. So I think he would have faked it just well. Just what. Oh, interesting. Okay. Sigourney Weaver, who had worked with Ramis in Ghostbusters, said that he also wanted actors who had not appeared in science fiction roles before, a choice thought odd since veterans of the genre would know what was humorous. After seeing the film, Ramis said he was impressed with Alan's performance. This is interesting. Johnson, I don't know why, named the main villain after film critic Andrew Sarris.
Ooh, nice. I saw something that was saying that the scene at the convention where he overhears the people being like, "Can you believe this? These people think that the blah blah blah," is actually inspired by a real scenario of William Shatner hearing that kind of thing at a convention.
Interesting.
So,
well, you know what's funny is one of the co-screenwriters, David Howard,
mm-hmm.
this was his only writing credit outside of... Nope, that's it.
It was his only writing credit?
Yeah, he has another one that I thought was like more connected, but it's about Mormons. It's called Trek the movie.
Yeah,
so you could see how I was confused. Son of a bitch. I don't know why that made me really mad. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
So anything else you on the list, on the negative ticker?
I don't think so. I think there weren't a lot of things that really stood out to me. I was just about to ask you, what do you like best about this movie?
Tony Shalhoub.
The
joke. His character is so weird. I don't fully understand it, but I love it. I love it so much. He acts so weird throughout the whole thing. And the joke was when before the climax of the film, everyone is doing their part. Tony Shalhoub and Sam Rockwell's characters have to get into a certain room, but there's a ton of bad guys. And they're trying to figure it out. Sam Rockwell, insists he'll go in with a gun. He's like, if I'm going to die, I'm going to die. And then Tony Shalhoub's like, wait, I have an idea. Like, he's kind of doing it. And then Sam Rockwell real quietly goes, are you high? And then that moment made me go, is he high the whole time? Because if he is, that would explain everything.
Because he's always eating something. He always has a paper bag that we're assuming is probably like snacks.
He's just high. He's got the munchies. He's pretty chill about everything. He is faced with imminent danger. It's like, hey, we got this going on for us. What do you want us to do? And I'm like,
yeah.
I missed in my mind, as far as my memory goes, I don't have any recollection of the first few minutes of the film where they show each character in the original series. So I don't think that's how he acted.
No, he has his dramatic, like, what? I don't remember what he says, but he has a line and then he like walks up to the camera and like dramatically looks off to the side. That's like the one thing that he does.
And it's just funny that he's the polar opposite of that. But when Sam Rockwell said that line, I lost it because I was just like, you're right.
Yeah, that's funny. I didn't catch that.
This isn't a thing where the audience is seeing this going, this guy is crazy. Like, this guy's kind of weird. And no one else notices it. everyone notices it.
Everybody's like, what's going on? Yeah. I think everybody did their characters so well.
Yeah. Sam Rockwell was great. I love the addition of having a red shirt. Essentially, that's the joke.
Yeah.
So for those of you who don't know, Galaxy Quest is kind of mocking and making fun of the idea of Star Trek and the culture around the fandom of Star Trek. The idea being, what if Star Trek was real, but it was brought to the original actors of this series? And so you have a Shatner character, you have a Leonard Nimoy character, and the mix within. But I think what is very funny. So in the original Star Trek, the idea, I don't know if it's true. I don't think it actually is true, but the idea is if a grunt, like just a background actor in Star Trek, is wearing a red shirt, there's a really good chance that they're going to die.
Mm-hmm.
And Sam Rockwell essentially played one of those characters.
Mm-hmm.
And so throughout the entire movie, he just is really, he goes through like the 5 stages of grief. Oh my gosh, I think he goes through the 5 stages of grief. Because at the end, he accepts it.
He does.
Oh my.
You're right.
I'm going to look it up real quick because I don't have it on. So we have denial, anger, bargaining, depression, accept. Oh my gosh.
That's good.
Yes, because in the beginning of the movie, like he goes on the trip. Like he forces himself onto the mission.
Yeah, he just
so that's
follows
the
everybody.
denial of everything that's about to happen. He gets angry because he realizes, like, wait, no, I can't. No, I'm the one who dies. Like, I'm the one. And everyone, like, ignores it. And then when they're on the little ship going on to the rock planet, he's bargaining. He's, like, crying and bargaining.
Yeah.
And then there's another scene where he's, like, real sad, like, really solemn. Not just, like, I don't want to do this, but just kind of just like, you know, whatever it is. And then the final one is acceptance. And he's like, if I'm going to die, I'm going to die.
It's so good. I think
that's so clever.
My favorite. There's so many good lines, and we're jumping around here, but you know, that's kind of become the show.
That's fine.
With his character and him freaking out and being like, I thought I was going to be the guy who died because I got left back on the ship, but now I think I might be the guy who dies when I'm going down on the planet. And then it's like he just keeps going on. And then at some point when they're running away, Sigourney Weaver's character says, "We got to get out of here before somebody kills Guy." Or before Guy dies or something. It was...
That was good. That scene in the ship. He's like, if I'm not going to die, then what's my last name?
Yeah, do I have a last name?
Do I have a Guy, you have a last name.
Do I?
Just that whole conversation of, does he have a last name? And I think it's really funny because the intensity of it, I was even like, does he have a last? Did they say? Yeah, they've said it. Wait, what?
Yeah, and then like they get down to the planet and the door opens and he's like, "What are you doing? Is there air? You don't know."
And Tony Shalhoub does the little. Like,
seems okay.
Yeah, it seems all right. Just his willingness to be just that way.
Yeah, I really appreciated the full contrast of Tony Shalhoub's character and Sam Rockwell. Of you have one guy who's just chill and riding through it, and then you have the other guy who at every moment has just, like, watery, glazed over eyes and the look of terror. And then, and like just being terrified the whole time.
Right.
Uh,
You know what? I do have an issue with the movie a little bit, and maybe I missed something. Like I had to watch this in parts, so I might have missed something. I may have had my attention off a little bit. Gwen and Jason's relationship makes no sense to me. That, like, they can say that maybe there was something in the past.
Mm-hmm.
There's not enough in this movie to really justify the ending.
Yeah, other than the fact of like the guy gets the girl and that's
Right.
what happens.
But like
I
they
think-
could have added something. Look, I feel like they think they added it because Jason makes, it feels like he makes reference to it, but Gwen never acknowledges it.
Yeah, there is the moment near the beginning where she is like looking over at him, and you can see that at some point, like there's a part of him that at some point she liked.
Yeah, which, I mean,
And
sure.
Yeah, but there's no.
I've given you that look before. That doesn't justify me kissing you at the end of the movie.
Well, debatable.
Shoot, I wasn't expecting that, honestly. Yeah, there was just one line or one scene missing, and maybe it got cut out. But if they would have been like, you know, a little more intentional about that, I wouldn't have had an issue with it. But it just feels undeserved, and if she would have acknowledged any of his statements, anything like that, I think I would have accepted it a lot more. But she never acknowledges any of his what are they called? Moves.
Yeah.
I haven't dated in a decade, so I don't.
Whatever you call those things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
what is it when someone makes them when they?
You know, I was trying to give you an out and move on from this.
Oh yeah, sorry. He gave her the door, and I ran into the wall.
And you're like, but wait, well, hold on, let's go back.
But I gotta touch the fire. I can't just look at it.
They did the whole thing of like the traumatic experience is what brought them together. They were about to die, and that's what brought them together. Yeah. And there probably should have been like oh wait, I still don't like you kind of thing, or something. But yeah, that was. I think there was also another scene that I think was cut out was the introduction of Fred and Liliani, whatever her name is, the alien.
Yeah.
Where like she walks into the room when he's trying to do the teleporter thing, and he looks at her and he's like, I can be brave. I can do this.
He gets the fall in love eyes.
Yeah, but it feels like there was probably a scene that happened before that of when they actually met each other.
Yeah. That
didn't make it into the final cut. Yeah. And so it does feel a little bit weird. There's a couple moments like that, and I guess that was what I would put under the least favorite things about the movie is that there are some things where it's like you kind of jumped to something here, and we didn't get the setup for it, but I'm enjoying the movie, so I'm not going to really care about it.
Yeah, I think that's probably the way to consider it. I mean, it's an hour and 42. They could have added 3 scenes in it. I think it would have still been okay. But I'm not DreamWorks.
No, you're not. We mentioned it before, but the practical effects, the alien makeup and like prosthetics and all of that is so cool. I can't look at the Saris and those aliens without thinking of the live action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from the 90s. but it's still so good. And like the little flourishes of the like, I don't even know what they are, but the things on his back when he gets angry that like that frill up,
the little swords.
Then, there's just so much that's
blades.
Yeah, or when the Thindorians, what are they called? I wrote it down.
I think that's right.
Thermians. When they're squid form, like those are actual puppets
and they look great.
And they look so good, and like they're moving, everything's moving. Oh, yeah. If you're a person who likes practical effects and practical makeup and that kind of stuff, and puppetry, like this is a really good showing of all of that.
Yeah. Not the CGI though. If you like CGI, this is going to be
the CGI is not great, but I do appreciate that they had like their old CGI for the TV show, and then they had their newer CGI for real life. But even the alien enemy ship, like every time it turned around, it was like, nope, that does not work.
Something's wrong about them physics.
Mm-hmm.
Not all, you know what? Not all of it. It's always a hard sell when you have to do organic rendering.
Mm-hmm.
The ships look good. Not all the movement looked great.
Mm-hmm.
The space looked decent. Like all things considered, it looked decent.
Mm-hmm.
The rock monster looked awful. Is rock organic? I think it is. I don't know. I just suddenly became very non-sciencey.
I mean,
it's not, is it? It has organic. What? That's not. Am I having a stroke? Are rocks organic? No, most rocks are not considered organic.
Yeah, organic is
organic sedimentary rocks. Let's go with that. It was organic because it was a rock monster.
It was a rock monster.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna keep bugging on the CGI, so moving on. I liked Jason's arc.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a good arc. I have my own personal feelings toward Tim Allen as a person, because he seems to be getting worse with age. But his arc and the performance for the most part was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to look it up. I didn't see any connection to it, but his name is Jason Nesmith. Nesmith, Nesmith.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, are they referencing Toy Story? Because Buzz was Mrs. Nesbit? Are they doing a play on it? But I couldn't find anything that made any reference to it, so I don't think so. I think because the Nesmith was already on paper prior to Tim Allen's connection to it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think so. Is Alan Rickman, even though he's playing like the alien, is he supposed to be Patrick Stewart?
I think they're probably referencing Patrick Stewart because
he's his
background.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the idea of it being like someone who came from a theater background,
right,
and being on,
because there's not, outside of Jason or Tim Allen's character, there isn't necessarily like a 1-to-1.
No, they kind of blended characters into
Yeah.
each other.
Because Daryl Mitchell's character is because the kid was Next Generation. I don't think there was a kid.
He was kind of a Wesley.
Yeah, which is Next Generation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which this would have come out after Next Generation had existed, so it was calling back to both Generation and
right, and that's
the
where it's
original.
like a mixture. But I have to look. My brain, I cannot remember anything right now.
Yeah, Sigourney Weaver's character was kind of a conglomeration of Uhura from the original, but also Beverly Crusher and
Hell of a name. Hell of a name.
What, Beverly Crusher?
Yeah.
And then I can't remember her name right now. All of our Star Trek fans right now are yelling at me.
And we're not listening.
We're not
nerds. Yeah, because there's a lot of mixing within it. The thing that was interesting that I feel like they
Deanna Troi. Sorry.
There you go. That's fine. But even now I'm looking at the Star Trek IMDb page.
Mm-hmm.
And it's showing previews or like scenes from it, and it's very funny because it's like women in like bikini tops, I guess you could say.
Oh yeah.
And it's just like, man, they nailed it. They freaking I had watched the original Star Trek at some point, but it just was like a goofy old TV show.
Yeah.
So I didn't really like retain too much. I've retained more of the pop culture around it, like Leonard Nimoy and Shatner and their impact on pop culture.
Right.
Not necessarily the original show. I did watch the movies from the 80s, and those stuck with me more. And those are much more tame than the TV show as far as...
Yeah. So it's funny. I think in the newer movies with Chris Pine, like there was some people who were like, what's the point of... I think it's an Into Darkness. There's the doctor character who he turns around and she's changing, and it's like, whoa. And people made a big deal about that. And it's like, that stuff has been around since the original. Like
right. That is on point. They may have just credited certain actors with scantily clad alien number one. Because it was a lot. Like it was that's part of the joke. Part of the joke is you are eventually going to see that aspect of particularly a woman, because that's who they featured. And I don't know if that was a Roddenberry thing, but
I don't know, man. Shatner took his shirt off a lot.
Yeah, that's true. And they made a joke about it.
They did.
Because Alan Rickman goes, somehow you were able to take your shirt off again. Alrighty. Kind of to line up the aspects of things we enjoyed. The cast was great. Alan Rickman just played a jaded, pissed off British man so well. Perfectly, in fact. Sigourney Weaver, great. Tim Allen did a good job. Tony Shalhoub, king. Daryl Mitchell did great. Like, he was definitely kind of the comic relief in a lot of instances. He would throw in the one-liners, or he would be the butt of a joke in, like, he would tell Sigourney Weaver that it's getting really annoying for her to repeat everything.
Yeah.
And then she goes, I have one job on this ship and I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. And then his response is like, okay.
Okay.
Like, that is very funny. That just the,
we should talk about, like, Enrico.
I was just about to say it. He played
Tony, who played
Mathazar. Fantastic.
So
it just really having to accept that weird, kind of awkward, kind of odd. Oh, I just recognized him. Okay. But Enrico, he was great. He did a good job. His alien form of sorrow and despair was so, like, believable.
Mm-hmm.
It really draws you in, and I was really impacted by it. Like, I felt really affected by it.
Yeah.
The scene where the revelation that it's all a lie, his despair was, like, tangible.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if there's anyone else that really brought that kind of performance in that way, where you believe, like, this guy he's not a human, but he, like, nailed the human emotions better than the humans.
Yeah, and it's because he's the character of innocence of,
right.
Like,
well, the whole race is, because they don't know what deception is until Saris.
Yeah, but his character being, like, the leader of them is the one that we see, like, go through. There's a couple of other characters we also see. I don't remember what his name was, but is it Quellic, who is the guy who is, like, lives his life following
yes, Quellic, Patrick Breen.
Yeah, and, like, so his character has some of that emotional stuff with Alan Rickman's character.
Yes,
and then you have Mathazar, who has his experience with Jason Nesmith, and they're, like, the two main ones who, like, they have their emotional moments,
right,
that are more human than
right
the human moments.
Jed Reese, he was one of the aliens. He was the alien with Fred, with the team when the pig thing exploded. He was that guy.
Yeah. And it exploded.
And the whole time I was watching that dang movie, I was like, where have I friggin' seen this guy? I know this guy.
Mm-hmm.
What is he from? He was the agent that recruited Ryan Reynolds, Wade, in Deadpool. He was the first one who, like, recruited him in, and I could not figure it out until I saw his picture without the makeup, and I was like, oh, that guy. I remember him. I didn't realize his makeup altered his appearance so much that I just couldn't recognize him.
There's so many actors in this who, like, when you go back and watch it, you're like, oh, that's what Ted from Scrubs, right. Or like, that's so and so from it's good.
The thing I want to give it credit for, and maybe say it like this movie was a tour de force for character actors. Like, character actors made this movie flow. And they did a really good job, which, you know, congrats to them. Missy Pyle.
Yeah.
Even Jeremy Howard, he played the really tall looking guy, Justin Long's friend.
Oh, yeah.
But even at this point in time, Justin Long was kind of a character actor. He played, like, that teenage kind of guy. It wasn't until a little after this movie that he really started to come into his own.
Yeah. And he played the nerdy fan, like super fan,
really
so
well. Obnoxiously well. I also want to shout out Kevin McDonald at the end. I love Kevin McDonald. I love Kids in the Hall. It was fun to see him, but it's just so funny for him to have just like such a small little dinky role. But yeah, great cast. He was the last announcer.
He's the voice of Pleakley from Lilo and Stitch.
Yes. Yeah. If that's where you want to remember him from, yes, that's where he's from.
I hear
he has such a wonderful voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know he's from other things, but I hear his voice and I'm like, that's so.
When I was a kid, we got Comedy Central at some point, and I watched it constantly. That's how I got introduced to Conan O'Brien and SNL and all of that. After school, I would just watch Comedy Central, and then I would turn it to Dragon Ball Z, but then I would go back to Comedy Central. And they played a lot of the Kids in the Hall, which he was in. It was sketch comedy from Canada. Let's just put it like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved it. It was so weird. It helped mold my sense of humor, but his voice, just everything he does in it, is so like you hear it and you go, "That's Kevin McDonald."
Yeah.
He's got one of those voices that no one. It's just perfect. Anyway, you want to jump to some quotes? I know we talked about some.
I mean, there are so many good. This, unlike last week's movie, this is a very quotable movie.
Yeah. I loved. Could they be minors? Sure, they look like 3 years old. Minors, not minors. And you lost me. You lost me.
Here, you lost me. Yeah.
Oh man.
Which it just goes into like. Yeah, maybe he is actually high.
Right.
Like,
you're just going to have to kill it. Kill it. Well, I'm open to any suggestions. What was it? Oh, I don't think they have it here. Oh, yeah. So he's trying to he's like, go for the mouth, then the throat. His vulnerable spots. It's a rock. It doesn't have any vulnerable spots. And then guy says, I know. You construct a weapon. Look around for some sort of form of rudimentary lathe, and they don't have the rest of it. But he's like, lathe, get off the mic. I just like the idea of hearing lathe and getting like rationally just angry about it.
Mm-hmm. Hey guys. There's a red thingy moving towards the green thingy. What? The red thingy moving towards the green thingy. I think we're the green thingy.
Yes. And now that is Sam Rockwell saying it, but imagine him saying it with like the fear of understanding he's the green thing the whole time, and he kind of knows what the red thing is. So he has this fear. He's such a good actor because he has this fear in his voice that I'm like, can you teach that? Or is that just talent? Because it is so perfect how he says it with such fear in his voice that I'm like, oh, he knew exactly what it was the whole time, but he just feels he does need to inform everyone else of the current predicament. Yes. Everything, let's see. Oh, I do like when Justin Long's character, he's heading out with the fireworks, and his mom's like, "Where are you going with those fireworks?" And then he goes into his big scientific thing, and then his mom's like, "Well, all right, dinner's at 7." And then the line I really like is like, "Well, he's outside."
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, the whole scene of the the shuttle going down to the planet.
Yeah, everything in that is so good.
It's just so good.
Anytime Alexander insults Jason is really good. Like, I don't even remember all of them. I just love how Alan Rickman talks and just how he says things. It's just very fun.
Yeah, I love the they spin the whole first convention thing of him being like, I hate my line. I'm not going to say that line ever again. No, you can't make me say it. And then when they're at the was it like the tech store or whatever, and he has to say, by Grabthar's hammer, such savings. It's like his look of just being so disappointed and over it, and just like, oh.
Yeah, that was great. I also liked when Jason is late to the thing and he's walking in, and then he's like, am I too late for Alexander's panic attack? And then he like turns in frustration and he's like, apparently not. I also like when he opened the airlock and then Fred goes, sorry, door was a little sticky. Did you see that? I'll get one of my boys up here with some WD-40. Just the thing of saying, I'll get some of my boys up here. It's like, yes, you're really accepting this.
What was the there's it's such a stupid when at the very end when they crash into the convention and they're coming like stumbling out of the ship, and then the announcer is like introducing them, and Alexander stumbles out and he's like, Alexander, give him a hand. He's British.
Yeah. Yeah. Or when I forget the exact line, but when Guy comes out, he's like, and we have an unmarked worker guy. Like he says it very generalized. I do like when there's an alarm going off and Gwen goes, I remember that sound. That's a bad sound. Oh, man.
Oh, yeah. There's too many to remember.
Yeah. When she realizes she's repeating the computer, it's just funny. It was like, enemy is matching velocity. The enemy is matching the velocity. We heard it the first time. Oh gosh, I'm doing it. I'm repeating the computer. It's all great. It is a very quotable movie. And if it's not necessarily quotable, it has some excellent delivery of just some like very simple lines that the delivery makes it very funny. Like everything Alan Rickman says is pretty funny because he's so put off the whole time.
Yeah.
You know?
Anyway. Yeah. Well, I have a fun memory of this movie a few years ago. I was able to watch it at the Paramount lot. They were doing like an anniversary viewing or something, and I knew somebody that worked there, and they're like, "Hey, come on down." And so got to go and watch it at their like Paramount viewing theater. So that was just a lot of fun, and so I have a lot of fond memories of this movie because
was it this last year?
No, it was maybe it wasn't an anniversary. I don't remember. It was
this year was 25 years. Actually,
this year was 25.
It's about to be 25 years. December on Christmas, it'll be a 25th year.
It would have been. Maybe it was the 20th then. It would have been.
That's awesome though.
Close to then, but so yeah, it was really cool. I think I don't know if the director was there or one of the writers, but there was like somebody there that there was like a Q&A with.
Oh, that's cool.
After, and they had some of the uniforms and set.
That's always cool.
Stuff.
We somehow related. We were able to go to I think it was Paramount as well. Was this Paramount? No, this was DreamWorks. But we went to Star Trek, the third newer movie, Beyond,
Mm-hmm.
at the Paramount lot, and they had props from the movie, and there were some of the some of the original Star Trek actors there. I think Nicole Nichols was there,
Cool.
and then someone from the new movie was also there. I didn't see them, so I don't buy it. But I have a picture on on Chris Pine's chair, so
Cool.
I'm cool. Any other quotes, anecdotes, or
I don't think so. I think this really is just an episode of us talking about how much we like this movie.
excellent? All right, and now we move on to the Review Rewind. Hey, it's the name of the show. This is the part where we read some reviews and we see if they work or if they're garbage. I tripped myself out because I hit the audio and it had the countdown for the audio, and then I was like, my memory card only has 12 seconds left. What's happening? And then I realized what it was. Anyway, Distracted. Metacritic gave it a 70%. Rotten Tomatoes, 90%. Audience score, 79%. IMDb, 7.4. Tristan, why don't you go ahead and read the positive score?
The San Francisco Chronicle gave it a 100. More than one joke or one idea. It's a thoroughly satisfying comedy and a respectable space adventure as well.
That first sentence pissed me off. I don't know why. Have you seen a movie with one joke in it?
You know, there are some movies who just kind of like, hey,
That's
we
a
have
comedy?
one joke and we're gonna no, not like not not the idea of there's one joke in the movie, but like
They're just beating a dead horse?
there's one joke that we're going to make through the next hour and a half.
Got it. Weird. Rush Hour. Alrighty. The Chicago Tribune. Ebert went ahead and gave it a 50. Oh, no, wait. Or was this Roger? What? One was on the Chicago Tribune and one was on the Chicago Sun Tribune?
Yeah.
Something.
Whichever one.
It's a clever premise, but not one that lends itself to an hour and 42 minutes of hijinks. You get the joke quickly.
So this is saying that it's one joke, and then this other guy is saying it's not just one joke.
But you get them quickly.
So what is it? Is it one joke or is it not one joke?
These two people have seen two completely different movies.
You know, I had a thought that I feel like this movie is what the Orville show once like dreamed of being. I don't know if you've ever watched Orville or not.
I've seen parts of it, and I know the premise of it.
Mm-hmm.
I have this weird love-hate relationship with Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah.
Like I think he's really talented, and I actually do think he's a really good writer. I just think there was a phase where I just didn't like I don't know if I liked him as a person from some of his interviews and stuff, but now that I'm starting to rewatch it and stuff, I'm like, was I indoctrinated just because this guy like says the F word a lot? What did I not like about this person?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm more kind of on the side of I think I like him, but with that said, he has some pretty crappy projects. Like Million Ways to Die in the West. I saw that in the theater and it sucked. I think I might give it another try because I'm thinking maybe I was just in a phase of something where I just didn't know.
Was that during your anti Seth
It may have
Seth
been. It
era?
may have been. Either
Mhm.
way, I have really liked the idea of the Orville, and I like the production behind it, and it seems like the cast really likes the idea and really supports what it's doing. I just haven't seen it.
Yeah, I've watched most of it, and the first time I watched it, I watched the first episode. I was like, I don't like this. This isn't for me. And I didn't go back. But then the last couple of years, like 2 years ago, I went back and started watching it and watched through most of it. And I actually appreciated it. And I know this isn't an episode about it, but it's still kind of a relevant idea of like Galaxy Quest is talking about.
Yeah.
Whereas like Galaxy Quest and Orville are both kind of a let's make fun of some of the tropes, but also write a love letter to Star Trek.
I think that's what the Orville does successfully.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think this movie accomplishes that secondary goal.
Yeah.
Where it's like a love letter to the original like Star Trek.
Like it is a little bit.
They give homage to it. They give credit to it, but it doesn't feel like super fans giving something back to the culture, to the idea of it. Which, yeah, like that doesn't take away from the movie. But I think, like you said, the Orville might be that thing that was what maybe this was trying to be ultimately without the... Because it does seem like there was some intervention from the studio in certain aspects of it. And so maybe that caused some of that lapse of giving the love letter, to Star Trek. But I do know that Seth MacFarlane was like a Star Trek super fan.
Yeah.
And so this has been kind of that thing to really give back to that idea of sci-fi and that culture and the impact that Star Trek had on, I mean, truly, like it low key might have a greater impact on sci-fi than Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
And I mean that in terms of the writers and cultures and ideas that it explored in the 60s maybe opened the doors in a way that wouldn't have allowed for even Star Wars to come out. But it, Star Trek, it feels like it really inspired not just film, but literary works, TV. I'd even argue like movies, definitely video games, and brought about a world where Star Wars could succeed. That's my premise. Someone could argue that, someone could probably argue against that. But I do think that there is something to the point in time where Star Trek existed, and brought about something like this, to where this movie makes a lot of sense if you're really aware of that culture. Like a lot of the stuff in this movie, I saw a documentary about Trekkies, and then watching this movie again, I was like, man, they nailed it. They freaking nailed it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
For sure.
I don't know what my point was.
I don't
what
know
do you
either.
think? What do you give the movie?
It definitely brought up some more thoughts, and it's like, if I go into this, we're going to have a whole nother episode on our hands.
Oh no.
What do I give it?
Yeah, what's your grade?
I'm thinking of it on the spot because I didn't write it down before.
You write it down?
Sometimes I write it down.
Oh.
Sometimes I physically write down my notes for this, and sometimes I just pull them straight out of my brain. Anyway.
I'm pulling it out, but I should have
Nope.
phrased that better. I am
We got to get out of here.
I
I
am
give
not
it
writing it down.
an A minus.
You are more prepared than I am, and this is my show. Anyway, A minus. I am gonna go ahead and lean on a B minus. Because I feel like like anything A is really, like you're saying, like this movie is damn near perfect, and objectively, this movie is not perfect, but it's still a great, like it's fun. It's a fun watch.
Yeah.
It's not worth making a big deal about. I have an issue with the rating of it. It's PG. This movie really should be PG-13.
It should be 13. Yeah.
So like that's just something to consider as you're watching it. Don't watch this with kids. Like there are scary, intense images.
Intense stuff. Yeah.
There is a bit of like for like kids, for PG, you would assume like adolescents or younger, and that weird age between like 8 and 11. I'm like, there's some dialogue that is questionable for that age group. There's definitely that sensuality, like the sexual jokes. They're not big or anything, but they do occur, and that might be something you might not necessarily want to put onto a kid who might not fully understand that that's what's happening. I started watching this movie with Ray, and as soon as we got to the scene where the aliens went to his house and he's naked and they're staring at his junk, I turned it off and I went, I don't remember enough of this movie to know that, like, I don't know if I can explain all this, honestly. So, let's go ahead and move on. So I stopped it and watched it later. But there are some of those aspects that, you know, something to consider as you're watching it. Not really affects the rating, but just something to consider. So I give it a B minus simply because I still think it's good. It has its issues. It didn't age well necessarily, but it's still pretty good. It's definitely watchable. It's definitely something I'll watch again. It's definitely something I would recommend. I recommend you go watch it. Like if you are a fan of sci-fi, I think conceptually alone, this is a great movie. If you are directly a fan of Star Trek and understand a little bit of the culture with Trekkies, then this is a must watch because it's such a great concept, and I think it really hits some points. That's what makes this movie hard. So there was something that some Simpsons writers talked about of it's really hard to make dated jokes because upon rewatch 10, 15 years later, they're not going to make any sense. This movie has some of those aspects where if you don't know the culture of Trekkie, some of these jokes are not going to make any sense.
That's true.
And that's okay. That's not necessarily a flaw in the movie because the movie knows what it's trying to do. But I think that kind of takes away from the rating a little bit that I would give it, because if I'm going to give an A, it has to be like a universally like solid movie. So that's kind of where I'm landing and why I'm landing it there. I feel bad giving it that grade, but I think my justification makes sense.
Yeah. No, I think that's very fair. When I was thinking about it earlier, I was like kind of leaning into the B area. And I was like, is it a B? Is it an A minus? I don't know. But I think, like given what you've said and looking even at the audience scores, or not the audience, but the critic scores that we're seeing here, a lot of them gave it like a C, except for the Rotten Tomatoes critics.
Right.
And I think this movie is solidly a B.
Yeah,
and I think
absolutely.
for some people, it's more of an A because they are like the direct, like they are the Trekkie fans. Like they get all of that. And so it leans more towards A for them. And then for the people who aren't, like this movie would not be appealing to them. So I can see how it is down there. But I think I think as a movie, like solid. This is the critic version of Tristan saying, I think a B is a really solid grade for or score for it.
I agree. Like, I think if you were a critic and you hate sci-fi, this movie is going to suck for you. Like, this is going to be a drag. If you really, really like Star Trek, this movie is going to be really fun for you. If you just like movies, you're going to enjoy it. You're not going to get everything, but you're going to enjoy it. And I think that's where the B kind of sits nicely.
Mm-hmm.
That's our opinion, and we're going to stick to it. So we're going to thank you very much for listening to our wonderful show, the best show in the world. I don't know. And Tristan, I'm so glad you had fun today. I don't know what I'm doing. Hey, from us to you, we hope you had a great holiday. And if you didn't, watch Galaxy Quest. It might cheer you up. And listeners, remember to review those rewinds. And we'll see you next time. Man, that pause is going to kill me. So
work on that.
awful.